The brothers Pedro and Jamie investigate after hearing gunshots in the surrounding woods the following morning and find half of a man's body. This leads them to a nearby shack where a woman hides with her 2 sons. Uriel, the eldest son, has turned into a rotten, a creature controlled by a growing demon that is just waiting to give birth. The man who has died in the woods is the cleaner that the mother had requested a year earlier. His job is to safely kill Uriel and abort the demon before it possesses more people. The brothers approach landowner Ruiz after the authorities brush off the rotten as not being their problem. Ruiz makes an aggressive attempt to deal with Uriel directly by throwing away the blighted Uriel and dumping him hours away. The 3 men find that Uriel has managed to escape the truck after almost running over a small child in the road. Declaring the issue settled, Ruiz leaves and heads back home. Ruiz's wife finds out their goat is possessed the following morning. Ruiz kills the animal against her advice not to use guns since they aid in the spread of the rotted, and his wife instantly kills herself with an axe. Jamie and Pedro decide to flee the town the following morning, gather their families, and make their way to safety. Pedro visits the residence of his former spouse, Sabrina, while Jamie receives their mother. When Pedro tries to retrieve his 2 children, this results in a fight between him, Sabrina, and her new husband, Leonardo. The family dog, who had earlier licked Pedro's filthy clothes, viciously attacks Leonardo and Sabrina's daughter and drags her outside while they are preoccupied with their argument. Pedro and Leonardo pursue the dog, with the former shooting it. When Pedro gets back to Sabrina, he sees that her daughter has returned unscathed and is posing a threat to Sabrina, so he takes their car. Pedro sees Leonardo smash his car into Sabrina while their daughter dances. The gathered family leaves town after Pedro picks up Jamie and their mother, and they arrive at the home of Mirta, a friend and former cleaner of Jamie, who extends an invitation for them to spend the night. Jamie brushes off Mirta's warning that Pedro's autistic son is showing signs of possession. After Sabrina's possessed corpse kidnaps her youngest son, Pedro and Mirta suggest that Jamie go after her in order to find Uriel and put an end to the demonic plague. When Jamie finds out Sabrina has killed the child, he becomes enraged and runs her over. He hits a tree while doing this. When her oldest grandson returns to the house, now able to speak without difficulty, Grandma stays at Mirta's house to wait. During their investigation, Pedro and Mirta find a schoolhouse full of possessed kids who openly tell lies to them in an effort to worsen the demonic birth. As Mirta sets up the equipment to kill demons, the 2 discover Uriel beneath the stage in the small auditorium. Pedro tries to properly discover him. Pedro loses patience and goes to the office while Mirta cries for him to stay with her, believing one of the children's lies about a fire axe nearby that might be helpful. The kids kill Mirta, trap Pedro, and disassemble the apparatus while he is gone. Pedro, who is furious, uses a broken piece of equipment to beat Uriel to death, but it is too late to stop the birth. Soon after, the demon inside Uriel emerges, shedding his corpse and making its appearance to a vanquished Pedro. The newborn demon follows the kids outside into the morning sun after sparing Pedro as a kind of taunt. The 2 brothers go back to Mirta's separately, pick up the other son, and then return to their own house. Uriel's possessed brother informs him at the shed that he killed and ate the first cleaner 4 days prior. Additionally, he admits that he had treated his mother the same way the previous evening and makes hints that Pedro's and his mother's had met similar ends. When Pedro goes back inside, he gives his son some ice cream, but he starts to choke. Pedro finds out that he is choking on his mother's hair and that his son is also possessed after tricking him while hiding behind his autism. Pedro, who has lost everyone but his brother, rushes outside and breaks down in tears.